where my hungry desire finds oblivion in your embrace. All mistakes forgiven in your embrace. I'm here, I'm now, alright. I fell into your love, I fell into your light eternal. I'm here, I'm now, survive. I fell into your love, I fell into your light.
Welcome back to GSL Code S. We are about to have our winners match. It's going to be between Genius and SuperNova. Protoss versus Terran. We'll see if Genius can fare any better than Seed against this monster Terran right now. And of course, just the winner of this group will get out of the group. That's just simply put. If you win twice, 2 best of 3s, you just get out.
Yep, so there's no way that anything happens. If you take 2 of the matches, then you're definitely through. And, well, this is going to be a great game. Genius against SuperNova, our 2 winners. We had Genius up against Boom Boom, and he took it with 2-1, while SuperNova was just way too strong for Seed in the PBT matchup. It's going to be very interesting. The first map is going to be Daybreak once again. And the interesting thing, of course, is that we had Genius in a position where he could watch SuperNova's PBT.
Yeah, absolutely. I was able to see all different sorts of strategies there. Now, I'm curious to see what sort of strategy we're going to see on Daybreak, our first map. So that's going to be something that's very fortunate for Genius. It's a map that Protosses really like to play on, but SuperNova on Daybreak just last set seemed really strong. We'll see who's going to take game 1 here at the GSL Code S Group B, sponsored by Hot 6, with Caldor and Wolf as your commentators. Don't go anywhere, we're in the game now.
We have our Protoss player to the top right of Daybreak, the first map in this best of 3 of our 2 winners in today's group. We have the MVP player.
MVP Genius.
And when we talk about his Terran versus Protoss or Protoss versus Terran, we have to mention that in his Code S match he took down Alive with 3-0, which is quite an impressive result, as Alive is really confident in this matchup. Now he's up against an OGS player, though. He is up against the blue Terran at the bottom left.
OGS SuperNova.
OGS SuperNova looking very, very strong against C just a few seconds ago.
Yeah. That's even an understatement. And both players looking like extreme masters of this matchup.
Yeah, indeed they do. This is going to be so interesting. I really want to see what's happening between those two.
Is going to go Command Center first. That's actually something that I did not expect to see.
Hey,
even though this map is, you know, a good map for Command Center first comparatively, it's still pretty hard to play against someone like Genius, who is so unpredictable with a Command Center first. It's very risky.
Something that we should also mention is that both players are really, really experienced players. It's not like they just popped up in Code S. They're really, really great. Therefore, they have the experience to deal with something like this. And there's Genius with a scout. He knows exactly what happens. He's like, oh, 14 CC, okay, very interesting. And even tries to block the SCV for a second here.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Genius didn't harass the SCV building the Command Center immediately. That's just what you normally see. We're going to see possible Chrono Zealot pressure here. 1 more energy left on that. Naniwa is coming. That guy is so... Oh man, that's actually really funny. We just spoke with that guy during the break. He's from Sweden. He's a really cool guy. If you guys want to come down to the studio, admission is free. Just stop on by, go to Xinjiang Station, follow the directions on the GOMTV website on how to get here if you're in Seoul. We'd love to see you.
It's always nice that we have so many foreigners here lately, and it's just great to meet a lot of people during matches. As you can see, a couple of Sweden fans here right now.
Yep. Now this Zealot pressure will likely kill about 2 SCVs or so. He's also damaged a lot of the SCVs with his probe. There's no bunker in place, of course. He did delay his Cybernex core just slightly, but that's fine. He's getting his Nexus up now. He needs to do a little bit of damage, though, with the Zealot to really be okay here. No probes being pulled with this, just sending the Zealot.
The first Marine is already in
no,
position.
the Marine taking a hit. Should have taken a hit of Hot 6 instead, man. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he would have been a little bit more awake to and perceptive of the danger that he's in.
Absolutely. Well, here come the SCVs. Like I said, he probably will lose a few of them. At the very least, he's losing some mining time here. But with no probes being pulled, he actually has to turn around now.
Yeah, was well defended here. Didn't lose anything at all except for the mining time. 4 SCVs just trying to back the Marines a little bit up.
Yeah, see, with the Nexus now, since he bought so much mining time, even though the Nexus was later, his mining is going to start about the same time as Genius's, so he didn't really lose that much. The one thing, though, to note is that with that really fast command center that wasn't really pressured enough, he gets the fast double mules, and that's going to be so much money for him to power up barracks, get his gases, do whatever he wants.
Oh, and he's expanding again right away. He's taking his third now. He will have the third orbital and therefore the third mule. He won't place the expansion down just yet. He will just completely stabilize on 2 bases before he takes the third, but he can also use not only the mule but the production capability of the orbital command, so he will produce 3 SCVs at a time, and his economy will just skyrocket.
It really will, and when you get that first really early mule, in total it gives you 270 extra minerals, and with those extra minerals that you get so quickly, you can just make a third command center with those. That's actually just something you could do, which is something we see here. Genius actually, a little bit supply block, a little bit of indecisiveness in his clicking there as to where you want to place his robo. It looks really stressed out in the position he's in because his pressure didn't do that much damage. He now has a late Nexus compared to his opponent, and he doesn't even know about the third, but he just seems stressed.
Yeah, at this point, it's not going to be easy for him. His opponent definitely has a great economy, and if SuperNova is able to capitalize on it, then Seeds will be in a lot of trouble. He has a little bit of a supply lead here right now, which is basically because of the chrono boost and also the upgrade time on the command centers to the orbital, where he can't produce any additional SCVs. But still, with the tech pattern that we now have for SuperNova, he might be able to just completely capitalize on his economy and get all these upgrades just in time to hit beautiful timings, especially with drop play.
Best case scenario for Genius right now is to make a robotic support bay and go for a 2-base Colossus attack, because if he tries to just tech up normally right now, he's going to really regret it, because his opponent's already got engineering bays up, he's got stim on the way, he's powered up really nicely in his main base. He's going to start Marauder production fairly soon if he adds a few more barracks, which he likely will, and there's no real way to attack this location without any Colossi at this point, because he's missed his initial timing. He made the robotics, he didn't attack with a fast 4-gate, he's not going up to a 6-gate or anything like that. Can he take a fast third? No, not really, not on this map, it's too open, and I don't know what Genius is going to do now.
This is going to be really dangerous for Genius at this point. We already have Stim done to a third, so the third of the upgrade has been researched, and as soon as he has Stim, he will be in such a great position to defend against anything that Genius can throw against him, especially with a +1/+1 upgrade already on its way, while we just have the double forge for Genius. And there is the robotics bay, but is it there in time?
It's too late.
I don't even think that he's going to try to hit a timing attack here.
This is his first glance. He has no idea what's in the main. He's even hidden pylons around the spot for drops because he has no idea how quickly his opponent's been taken out. Now he's like seeing the third command center and the factory, and he's like, okay, this is not good. This is not good at all. I wonder how long he's had that orbital. I don't even know. And he's not even going to know his opponent has started upgrades before him. This is a tough position to be in. He's going to take a third now. This is what he needs to do, but will he be able to defend it with Stim on the way and with the amount of production that SuperNova will have to attack him? It's going to be tough to say. He's not going to have medevacs out, though, very quickly, and setting the timing of the factory allows him to make this choice fairly freely as he moves out to attack the third base, and I really like what he's doing here. Taking a third and attacking at the same time normally is not a good situation to be in for a Protoss because you can just lose so much to a counter drop, but because he knows the timing of the starport, he can actually freely attack as he expands.
A great problem that he might face soon is that we have a pretty decent Marine count. Marines with Stim and +1 attack upgrade do a lot of damage in the early game. As soon as you have the Medivacs out in the game in order to compensate for the hit points that you lose with the Stims, then you're suddenly in a very great great position. The damage dealt is just awesome, and he does not have the the area of effect damage that he needs in order to counter it. Here comes a bit of pressure play by Genius, but he has to back off. He can't engage here.
I'm surprised he tried to engage there rather than engaging at the third base that he knew would be there. It really surprises me. Maybe he expected the units to be at the third in anticipation of this. He will save this pylon. Back at home, Twilight Council is on the way, so it's going to actually delay very slightly his 2-2 upgrade because it's, you know, his 1-1 looks like it's going to finish just before. Well, actually, now looking at it a little bit more closely, it's about the same time. But he's powering up back at home with adding additional gateways. He's got range on the way for his Colossi. He needs to hit a timing to do some damage, because if he just allows his opponent to have a third for free, even though he has a third now, it's so late. He's lost a lot of mining. His opponent's tech is out of control. Look, he's powering up more barracks now.
He's starting +2/+2 now, but he's already behind. He needs to use those chrono boosts in order to at least catch up with his opponent. SuperNova is now, as you just mentioned, getting additional production capabilities. He's building one barracks after another, and his Bioforce will be out of control. He's already going for the first Ghost Academy. He's starting with the Ghost production, and this is just really, really scary at this point.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what he did against Seed on this very map. The only difference this time is he's going up to 5 medevacs, doing a lot more medevacs out this time.
He has one problem. At this point, we have a lot of a faster robotics bay for his opponent. We already have 2 Colossi, so if he starts to build Vikings right now, this will cut down the amount of medevacs that he can use in the game. So suddenly he's restricted to like 3 medevacs and can't produce any additional ones because he has to prepare for the Colossus.
Yeah, he's going to have a total of 5 out. You're exactly right, and that's, you know, not as much as he wants ideally, but he just has to start Vikings now. And also something to know is he's going to get trapped here with a very marine-heavy composition. This is exactly what Genius wanted. His Zealots, unfortunately, were out the back, but even so, the Colossi doing a ton of damage because he's so marine-heavy right now. He cannot close the distance on the Colossi. He can't do anything about this. This is exactly what Genius needed.
Yes, he needs to back off SuperNova, that is, and this is a lot of damage that was just dealt by Genius. A perfect engagement here for him. As you mentioned, we didn't have the Vikings. He had nothing against the Colossi. He couldn't get into position, and he was suddenly just trapped in this just pocket. He couldn't get out of it.
Really nice decision making by SuperNova to go and search for a pylon at the top after this, because otherwise he would have probably dealt with a Zealot run by, so he denied that. Really nicely done. +1 ship weapons are almost done. 2-2 upgrades going to finish. That'll put both players tied at 2-2 upgrades. The Templar Archives, though, is the real crucial part here, because there are no ghosts on the field as far as I know. He does have the Ghost Academy, but he lost so many units he has to reproduce attacking units. Now he does have 1 ghost, and that's it.
But this kind of completely negated the advantage that SuperNova already had this last engagement. We have both of them now trying to go for the +3/+3 upgrades. But the Templar Archive is done. He already has a fair amount of Colossi. If he
really
gets Storm as well, then suddenly he will have everything that he needs in order to take down any Bioforce.
You're exactly right. I'm kind of surprised Genius did not poke there, but with the really Zealot-heavy composition he has, I understand it. He also does not have charge, since he's been using all of his gas on these upgrades right now. You can see the Viking count not quite enough still. This is a really scary moment for SuperNova. One wrong move, and he'll lose some Vikings.
And just have a quick look at the minimap. They are everywhere. There are units and buildings scattered across the minimap. He knows everything that's happening. Every drop that could be mustered by SuperNova would be spotted. So a very nice play here by Genius at this time. He's going for the charge upgrade. He definitely needs it. But at this point, he's looking very, very good. And SuperNova is suddenly on the back foot.
Yep. Indeed. This is... I mean, even though they're both on even bases, the Colossus count is out of control, and he's building the tech for Templar behind this, so he's got his opponent in almost like a catch-22 here. More Templar now being warped in. He's actually going to go with Archons. It looks like he wants to force a lift on the third base rather than researching Storm right now. +2 ship weapons on the way. It looks like SuperNova is, you know, he's falling for the trap here. His opponent has stopped Colossus production. He's really trying to bait him into more Vikings. He's going to lose some of those very Vikings, which means he has to produce even more Vikings and less medevacs. Genius is just a step ahead of SuperNova in this game.
This is just painful. He's losing so many Vikings. As you just said, he has to rebuild them. He can't go for medevacs. He has to rebuild 3.
Oh, but this is a great position for SuperNova.
He's blinking in, trying to take down the Vikings. There are a lot more. He just built another set, and the Vikings trying to take down the Colossi. One of them dies, but the rest of them is taking a huge amount of Marines down. And look how both of them just plummeting down in supply. Actually, SuperNova getting not really the better end of it, but he's at least able to throw this attack back. He's down to 130 against 134. But look at the bank. Look at the bank.
And also look at the Colossus to Viking ratio. It's 4-4 with Archons in the mix, and with Storm still not started. He's getting +1 shields. Another wave of attacks from Genius, if he decides to go for it, will kill SCVs at the 4th base. In fact, if he goes now, with the Colossi count he has, with those Stalkers, he could actually definitely force an engagement to be in his favor. It looks like he wants to be patient and get a 4th base right now. Double expanding 4th and 5th base is going down for Genius right now. He's that ahead, and he knows it.
Yeah, talking about exploiting your advantage. This is a very nice decision here by him. 68, Harvesters against 60, won the Mules, obviously also something that we have to consider. But here comes the Storm upgrade, and as soon as he's able to get these Storms into play, with the amount of Colossi that he has, that's going to be very difficult for SuperNova to deal with. Because he does not only have to position his Vikings perfectly to take down the Colossi, but at the same time he has to take care of the Ghosts so that he can at least either EMP or assassinate all the High Templars that are in the mix, and this is going to be very, very difficult.
And Ghosts are expensive. He's trying to produce Ghosts and Vikings at the same time. He even had to make a 3rd starport, and all of this money that he's spending is not money that he can really bank up because he's stuck on 3 bases, and Genius is just being so patient now, but he's missed his time to really pressure at that 3rd. Now he just needs to get his Storm Research out, build a higher Templar count, and start to, well, fan his units out, to be quite frank. He needs to do that a little bit.
What's going to be very dangerous, I really like how he always snipes these Vikings.
Oh, it looks like SuperNova wants to go for a big attack here.
Wow,
the Colossi are already split. There are no Storms, though. Yeah, you're exactly right. This is a pretty good engagement for SuperNova, but even so, the Colossi are doing so much damage, and Storm is done!
It is done, and it hits hard, takes down most of the Bioforce.
And it looks
Genius.
like this game is over, Caldor. He lost so many SCVs. He's dancing the Zealots! He would be dancing the Stalkers, but they don't have a dance command.
Awesome play here by Genius. He hits the right timing. Taking a little bit of a risk here, but it paid off. He could have just waited longer, just banked up minerals, built additional gateways, and waited for an attack, completely maxed out again on gateway units, but he knew he had the timing here. He went for it. It was a bit of a risk at this point, but with the Storm done, he just had the perfect composition, and SuperNova did a little bit of damage initially, but then suddenly the Storms hit, and they just sealed the deal.
They hit hard, man, and I just have to say, Genius's decision-making in this game, with how much Colossi he showed, he truly forced his opponent to Vikings. And he never really even had to go into Storm Tech because he won all of his fights correctly. He was always, like you said, on top of having observers over that cliff to shoot the Vikings. He just kept shooting at those Vikings, and that was really enough for him to kind of turn the tide in his favor with those first battles. And plus, just even on top of all of this, notice or think about the fact that Genius is 1 game away from advancing. His mindset for this next game is going to be so good. He just has to play calmly and safely. SuperNova might be panicking a little bit right now. He does have the map choice. He's actually going to choose a very interesting map, though. He's going to pick Entombed Valley rather than picking Dual Sight. I really think that's very interesting.
Going for Entombed Valley here, and well, just to come back to these Viking snipes, it was brilliant. He took down, I think it was 4 to 5 Vikings before any engagement actually happened, so that was so well done, diminishing the Viking count, and therefore the threat to the Colossi, who in addition then dealt out this much damage to the Bio Army, especially to the Marines. Those Marines didn't stand a chance. It took ages until the last Colossus was about to die, so this was really, really ingenious by our Protoss play here.
Yeah, and he also, the way he controlled his units, the way he trapped those units, the way he baited his opponent out, then trapped him against the minerals there at the 3rd base, or I guess you could say 4th base, where the Terran would likely take a 4th. It was just awesome with that first engagement. That was where he got ahead. He was behind in so many ways before that moment, and I just have to say, Genius, his positioning, his decision-making, his macro, it was all almost flawless against someone like SuperNova, who's been showing nothing but flawless play himself. He's got to be stressed out going into the 2nd game. If he loses this one, he will be going into the losers of the winner versus the winner of the losers final match. Genius 1 game away of advancing to the round of 16.